stands out to me about those comments was him alluding to last year's postseason and saying, we got to get over it. Johnny, as a former player, does that kind of allude to maybe this team not being over that elimination? Or how do you read those comments?
I read it as he's suggesting the team might be a little satisfied, a little pleased with themselves for how all they accomplished last year and the great run, and feeling we're pretty good. We got to the second round, and look at us now. We're heading in the right direction, and maybe forgetting that the amount of work and execution and intensity it takes to get to that level. And Braden Holtby, we know, guys, is a tremendous teammate. He's not a guy who goes out there and, throws his teammates under the bus or says bad things about them. He's not that guy. He is absolutely calm and supportive and a great teammate. And in the game the other night against Toronto, he was very upset with his teammates and gave them the stink eye. I will be quite polite to say it that way, and was expressing his frustration with what's going on there, because, EJ, it's not just, well, we don't have the best defense. Okay, that might be possible. And it's not just, maybe we don't have the most defensive system. At some point, it's attention to detail, it's intensity, and it's caring about keeping pucks out of your net. And here's Braden Holtby. He's not looking at his bench because he's saying, what is going on right now? He's disgusted with what's happening. He's trying to be polite, but he can't even contain it. That speaks volumes for Braden Holtby. And I think the Vancouver Canucks, what I'm seeing when I watch them, is that they don't care as much as they need to about keeping pucks out of the net. They're worried about attacking, about scoring goals, about trying to win games, of course, but they don't channel that into playing defense, EJ. And if you don't commit to defense, you don't really have a chance.
Yeah, you absolutely have to commit to defense. And you can see here, they played 15 games. I mean, this has kind of worked against them, too. Of all the teams in the league that didn't need to be playing every other night at this point, it's the Vancouver Canucks. They could probably use some days off and some practice time, because they've got to start over from what we've seen, Johnny, over the last couple of weeks. I mean, their games against Montreal and against Toronto, those two teams in particular, which are the top teams in the North Division, they just look terrible. I mean, the players look like they just stopped trying in some of those games. I mean, Alex Edler let Jason Spezza walk around them without much effort or much kind of pushback. And, you just have to be better than that.
And what did we say about this team last year all the time? They're going to go out there and they're going to work hard. That was the one thing we said all the time.
Yeah, they were the team that competed. And, it is different this year. There's been some personnel changes. And a big one was in goal with Jacob Markstrom, who, when you dive into the numbers, he was a big-time reason that the Canucks had success last year. And he was that safety blanket back there that kind of, glossed over a lot of defensive mistakes. Demko is a good goalie, and Braden Holtby is a good goalie. They're probably not, either one of them is not as good as Jacob Markstrom, but because we're in a salary cap world, this is what we're left with, and they've made some decisions. They've got to go out and pay Hughes and Pettersson down the road, but I'll tell you, if all these guys keep playing the way they're playing, you're going to be paying them less. So, they better get on board. And, Travis Green, who we think has done a really nice job with that team, well, he's in the last year of his contract. Hard to know exactly how that plays in the room, Johnny. You would know something like that better than us. But at the end of the day, he's got a different group right now, and he's really short, I think, on defense without really those hard, tough defensive defenders that can be in that top four outside of guys like Schmidt and outside of guys like Hughes. Those are kind of, rovers more than really hard defenders. So he's got to figure out maybe a different way to go about this with this team. And boy, oh boy, I won't be surprised. I will be surprised if I see anything different tonight, because this is a team that looks like they've got a lot of issues right now.